Stitch number 41 and 42 are mending stitches on the Pfaff Quilt Ambition 2.0. Now you'll notice that it looks a little different for a stitch on the screen, plus there's an indication of touching the reverse button, and that's how you can set it for the length that you want the mending stitch to stitch. So if it stitches down 10 stitches, then it goes back and forth 10 stitches all the way until it's done. Next, we do need foot 2A, and notice that the dual feed is not showing. So we do need to make sure we take that off. Normal tension, let the stitch width and length be preset, and let's take a look at what happens when we use a mending stitch to take care of a hole in our fabric. Start by putting the correct foot on and making sure the dual feed is not engaged, because this 2A foot is not a foot with the groove in the back. When you select the stitch, oh, by the way, if you've got an opening that we're trying to mend, make sure you put some interfacing on the back of that. For today, I'm going to just put some fabric behind it, and we're going to start kind of in the upper left corner of where the rip is, and we're going to stitch down a little past it, and at this point we'll touch the reverse button and set the length. Once the length is set, it'll just do the whole stitch for us from start to finish. There's one trick about this stitch, is once you start stitching, you're going to need to touch the reverse button while you're sewing. So if you touch it without you stitching, then it won't actually turn around and program it in. Ask me how I know. I tried it with it at the end and it didn't finish up. So here we go. Stitch the stitch, let it finish. It'll stop with some locking stitches. Now if your opening is a little bit bigger than the foot allows it to stitch, all you need to do is kind of start over here at the top again and keep going until you've completely filled in the area. How about for fun, let's go ahead. I'm switching over to stitch 42. It has a little different look to this, more like a grid, but I'll stitch it for you. It's going to go ahead and go back and forth, front to back, not front to back, left to right. And when I'm set for the length, then I'll go ahead and touch the reverse button, and then it fills it in. This is not as solid, but it really does do the job to get a good setup and all the mending done in minutes. So to try them both out and see which one you like the best. So remember the trick, touch the reverse button while you're stitching to get it to activate for this program.